Learn the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then go teach others. Yarideki tara kara para upadesh, amarak nai guru hana tara idesh. He said, this is my order. My order is to learn all these things and then yourself become a teacher. Go out and teach others. Now, as I said earlier, the order of Krishna is not different from Krishna. And it is the internal energy. And the way to see Krishna, the way to see the spiritual world, the way to go to the spiritual world, is just to take the order. If you take the order, then you're connected with Krishna. There's nothing can separate you also. It's your choice to take the order or not take the order. And if you do take it, and you mold your life around that principle, then you'll never be separated from Krishna. And you'll attain all perfection. You'll see Krishna directly by following his order. And his order is given in the Bhagavad Gita. It's given through the spiritual master, where we can get very specific clarification of what his order is. You see Srila Prabhupada came to meet his spiritual master when he was just, 26 years old? And he came with a group of friends who dragged him to come see his guru. Why? Because Prabhupada lived in a home with his father, who was a pure devotee in his own right. His father had a singular desire for his son, that he become a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. So, he invited every single sadhu, and sadhu sometimes means that there's some unusual kinds of sadhus, let's say, in India. Those from India know. If you go around India and you meet all kinds of sadhus, you'll find sadhu really means holy man, but there are all kinds of different ideas about what that is. Prabhupada's father used to keep a hookah in the house because to get some of the sadhus to come in, he'd have to give them ganja. You'd come in, you smoke some ganja, and then, please give a blessing to my son. So he would invite everyone. So Prabhupada growing up, he saw many, many different kinds of sadhus, and he wasn't that impressed. And so when his friends said, there's another sadhu, you can come and meet him, he thought, not another one. I've seen them all. And they dragged him. And when he came there, before he offered his obeisances before Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who became his spiritual master, and as he was sitting back up again, before he could even take his seat, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was giving him an order. That is, you should preach Krishna consciousness to the Western people. You should expand it in English. You're intelligent, you're educated, you speak English, you can do this. Before he was able to sit back up again, he had the order. And that became his life and soul. You can scour Prabhupada's books and find out that that's how he did it. He grabbed onto that, and that is the internal energy. That's how he connected. That's how he had his success. He says it himself. Why was he successful? He took the order. He just tried to fulfill it. That's what he did. And can anyone do that? Yes. Can anyone find that order? Yes. It's up to you. The order is available. You can take it. And if you have a desire and you take that order and you grab that order, then you're immediately connected with the internal energy. No difference between Krishna and the order. Absolutely the same. And more Krishna will reveal himself through the principle Atashri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahimindriye Sevan Mukhi Jivado Swayameva Spuratyada. That we don't see Krishna by our own power. The blunt material senses cannot perceive him. But if we take the order of Krishna and we execute it in a humble mood, in a mood like Lord Brahma, the beginning person of our Sampradaya did, with full humility, and we try to take every pain possible to take that order on our head, even though it may seem impossible. Krishna says, "You'll Mamidam Vidyam 331. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava." Krishna says, just take my order and you'll be fine. Next verse he says, don't take my order, you'll be ruined. So we have a choice. And if we just take it, we take that order, and we'll become successful. Even if in the beginning it seems impossible. And that's what Prabhupada says in the purport of this verse 331, that in the beginning you may see the order, you may know what the order is, but you can't do it. But you want to do it. So you keep trying, and that's where your perfection lies. You keep trying. You try to take that order, you try to perfect that order, and if you do that, then you'll see Krishna eye to eye. He'll reveal himself to such a person who humbly takes the order. Atashri Krishna Namavi Na Bhaved Grayam Indriya Sevan Mukhi. By the tongue you can take his order. Krishna says, teach Bhagavad Gita to others, learn it and teach it to others. And by that service of speaking about Bhagavad Gita to others in the best way that you possibly can, Krishna will reveal himself. And any other kind of seva that you can perform according to the order you get from your spiritual master that comes to you through Krishna, from Krishna, through his agency, then you'll become perfect. So, not to worry, because there's a great conspiracy afoot, and that is Krishna's conspiracy. He's conspiring in different ways. He sends his incarnations to the world. He has his representatives, and he's controlling the whole show. And therefore, Brahmanda Brahmate Kon Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. The moment one becomes sincere about knowing God, the grand conspiracy starts turning. And no one can figure out how perfectly it's all being done. But Krishna will connect us. That's our duty, to be sincere, to sincerely try to see Krishna, to try to follow his order. And he'll make everything else complete in a way that we could never imagine, with many conspirators in the process of helping us. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to see if somebody has questions or comments.
Look at this beautiful Bhakti center. Krishna's everywhere, and it has a nice feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels like a real Bhakti center.
Yes.
And it just, we're going on here in Silicon Valley in the best ways that we know how. I know for a fact that the devotees who are working here in this community are taxing their brains. Prabhupada used to use this phrase, tax your brain how to spread Krishna consciousness. I know for a fact, because I see it, I get copied on practically because I'm acting as a temple president, I see so many letters come across and see what everyone's doing, and everyone's taxing their brain. How to do better, how to expand Krishna consciousness, and sincerely trying. And Krishna's reciprocating and sending people and resources. And what more can we do but sincerely try? And when we see this Bhakti Center as manifestation from the sincere desire Sri Govinda Tata wanted to bring this kind of structure to Silicon Valley. I saw it several years ago when he came here. He had that desire. And gradually it's been coming into focus. And now here's the result. Everything starts from the subtle level and it comes to the gross level. If you have some subtle desire, it'll grow. It grows like a seed, and then it manifests in the outward world. That's why we're so keen on watching carefully to weed out any kind of little desires that are not pure devotional service. Because we want this to manifest outwardly in our lives as pure devotional service and everything that goes with it. Are there any comments, questions, or reflections? Diksha.
The question is that why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu choose to worship Jagannath? What is so sweet about Jagannath?
Well, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath, he actually saw the form of Krishna. Krishna, Yayatamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham. According to one's mood and surrender, he reveals himself in a particular way. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and saw Lord Jagannath, then he fainted out of ecstasy, and he would see Krishna in the form of Jagannath. Jagannath is the form of Krishna, Baladev, Subhadra in ecstasy. This is a very intimate form of the Lord who's exhibiting ecstasy. That's why their eyes are so wide open out of ecstasy. In Vraja, actually, there's one pastime that describes how Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan were so much missing Krishna. He spent some years in Vrindavan, and then Akrura came to take him to Mathura. He was supposed to be gone only for a few days. And of course the residents were always expecting that he'd be back in a few days. And it would be a few days from Monday, and a few days from Tuesday, and a few days from Wednesday, and a few days from Thursday, a few days from Friday, a few days from Saturday, a few days from Sunday, and this way they went on waiting for 100 years. Krishna apparently didn't come back. Of course, the Acharyas have explained that he never left because he was there in his bhava expansion, his aprakat, or unmanifest expansion out of bhava. He never leaves Vrindavan. But in his Leela, apparently he leaves Vrindavan. And out of the greatness of the Gaudiya Sampradaya coming down through Srila Madhavendra Puri, that the devotees, through their separation, they feel more intense connection with Krishna than anyone else, or any way else besides this feeling of vipralamba, or separation from Krishna. Out of that intense separation they feel for Krishna, they're constantly in touch with him. Paradox. And when Krishna left Vrindavan, the residents there were pining for him 24 hours a day, as Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say in his lectures. They were simply crying, 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 crying out of separation for Krishna. And so these, one pastime described that when Krishna and Balaram one day came across an assembly of devotees who were speaking about their separation from him, they went into such ecstasy that they took these forms of Krishna and Balaram with their eyes wide open, and it's a form of ecstasy. And Kurukshetra, where Krishna appeared, and for which we perform the Rathayatra ceremony, which is representative of this meeting of the devotees with Krishna at Kurukshetra. According to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this is the pinnacle of bhakti in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, actually. Not even Vrindavan, but Kurukshetra of all places. This is a very esoteric point, but because in Kurukshetra the residents of Vrindavan had come there to see Krishna, because it was an eclipse of the sun and everyone had come to this place, Kurukshetra, for this festival to counteract the effects of the eclipse of the sun and so on. It was a religious festival. And Krishna was going there, but not the Krishna the residents of Vrindavan knew. They knew him as Madan Gopal. And when they came there, they saw Krishna riding on a chariot with in a kingly way. And there the residents of Vrindavan were pining for Krishna again, saying, "Come back to Vrindavan. We want you to come to Vrindavan." And there